Hi, I'm Chellé, and I'm going to be telling you guys my 10 favorite albums of 2021. I feel like this year had a lot of really good albums that came out, specifically in like the hip hop and like R&B categories or genres. Music were really good this year. I feel like I didn't listen to that many like alternative or like indie music that came out this year, so my entire list is mainly going to be like hip hop and R&B. So if you don't like those genres, sorry to disappoint. I just feel like this year those genres just weren't giving what I wanted. I don't know. Just feel like there wasn't a lot of releases, at least of artists that I listen to. But maybe I need to expand my music taste and listen to new people. I'm not ranking these albums, I'm just kind of saying them because my list always changes. I can't tell which album like was my #1 favorite, so just don't pay attention to the order because there is none. But the first album that I have on my list is Donda by Kanye. I feel like that's on literally everyone's list. All of like the videos and like Instagram like music pages I follow, they all said Donda was their favorite or like up there, which was a really good album. When it first was like coming out, or like every time they kept saying that they were going to release the album, I would get so excited and I believed it every time, and then my feelings got hurt every time they said it was dropping and it never did. So I was one of those people to post my stories but like I'm so excited, and then it just never happened. So there was a time where I was like, this album is just never going to release, but it finally did. And I didn't watch any of the concerts that were like streamed or whatever because I wanted to listen to the album in like its whole or like entirety, and I didn't just want to hear clips and stuff. So I waited. Why am I out of breath? I need to breathe. So I waited for the album to come out to listen to the whole thing because I just wanted to experience the whole thing, not just clips of it. So my top songs off of Donda were, if we're talking about the deluxe version, Life of the Party, of course. I think that's the best song that's come out in 2021. Just Andre 3000 is so good. And then the other song that's my favorite currently, because my favorite songs are like always changing on all these albums, but right now it's gonna be Hurricane, everyone else's favorite too. Just The Weeknd just killed it on that song. My next album is Call Me If You Get Lost. We all saw that one coming too. I love Tyler, and it was just a really good hip-hop album. It's gonna be probably in like my top 3 of Tyler albums. It was really good. I liked Corso and Hot Wind Blows. Those were definitely my like 2 favorites. The next album was The Melodic Blue by Baby Keem. That was another really good hip-hop album. That album just gets me so excited whenever I listen to it because it's just so fun and happy, and it's just a good song that you can dance to in the car or whenever. It's so fun. I love Baby Keem. I loved his like previous album. I remember listening to it a lot, and like I don't know if that was like 8th grade, 9th grade, but love Baby Keem. And you know, Kendrick. I'm always excited when I hear Kendrick on something, so when I saw that he had a feature on the album, I was really happy about it. And my favorite songs from that is either Trademark USA, 16, or Pink Panties. But if you see me looking down, it's because I have my laptop because I can't remember these things, even though I know it's my favorite. I can't remember, so that's what I'm looking down at, my notes, to remind me what my favorite albums are. The next song is Shut the Bleep Up Talking to Me by Zach Fox. Sorry, I forgot his name. I've been like obsessed with him in like Earl Sweatshirt recently. I feel like that type, I don't know the name of that type of like hip hop like style, but like them two and like people that like them, those are like my favorite type of hip hop songs to listen to that kind of have like those like almost like jazz old beats to them. So when I first heard the songs, this album was what got me into Zach Fox. I loved it immediately. And I just love listening to Zach Fox because he's like really funny too. So I like the little jokes and funny bars he has in his music. They're great. My top songs are Shut the F Up Talking to Me and Fafo. I don't know how to read. My next album that I've been obsessed with is, or really liked in 2021, is Temporary Highs in the Violet Sky by Snow Allegra. Again, this was another artist that I like just started listening to. This was like this album was like is the way I got introduced to her, basically. And she has such a good like R&B voice. I can't believe like I never heard any of her songs before this album, but she's so good. And my favorite songs are Lost You and In Your Eyes. She's just so good, and that's such a good album. So if you've never heard of her, listen to that album because it's so good. The next album that I really like is Vince Staples, like the self-titled album. Again, another artist I just started listening to. That's how the album makes me feel. It's really good. I don't really have much to say about that one, but Vince Staples, very good. Like the album. My top songs are Take Me Home and Little Fade. The next album, An Evening with Silk Sonic. Another good one. I love me some Bruno and Anderson. That album it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just so smooth, and it just feels good to my brain when I listen to it. I don't even know. Like, I can't find I can't find the white words. I can't find, like, I don't know how to describe it. But if you've listened to the album, you know what I'm, like, talking about. It's like butter on my brain. I don't know. But it's very good. And I also like how that album is, like, not too long. Because sometimes when I'm listening to albums, like, all the way through, which I normally do, I don't like it when they're too long, because I feel like I'm just sitting there for a long time just listening. I'm like, okay, is it almost over? But this album is a really short one, which I almost kind of wish this one was a little bit longer, but I think it's a good length. And yeah, I made it really easy to just listen to all in one go, and it's just so good. And even like the transitions in the song are really good. My favorites from that one is After Last Night and Leave the Door Open. The next album that I really like is Smiling with No Teeth by Genesis. I don't know how to say his last name, but that was, I don't like hear a lot of people talk about him, or at least this album, and I feel like it needs to be talked about a lot more. It's so good. It's so poetic. In an interview, Genesis was saying how this album was like inspired by To Pimp a Butterfly, which you can definitely hear that in the album. So I know To Pimp a Butterfly is a lot of people's like favorite albums. So if you like Kendrick in that album specifically, then you would definitely love this one. It's so good. And my favorite songs is Centuryfold and Smiling with No Teeth. Happier Than Ever is my next favorite album, which I was really surprised, like I surprised myself with this one, because I remember when the album kind of first came out, I didn't care too much for it. I never thought that it was bad, but I was just like, okay, like, it's cute, but just wasn't giving what I wanted to give. But after listening to it some more, it's starting to grow on me, and I really like it, especially songs like Overheated and Male Fantasy. Honestly, when the album first came out, I didn't even listen to like the whole thing. I just kind of skipped around, and the songs that I was listening to were just like Happier Than Ever, is it called Your Power, Lost Cause, which those songs are good, but they're not my favorite on the album. So I definitely skipped the good ones when I was listening to it, so that's why I didn't care too much about it. But now that I actually listened to the whole thing and found my favorites, I think that it's a really good album. So Billy. Not a good album. The next one is Red, Taylor's version. I've never been like a big Taylor Swift kind of fan. Not fan. I just never listened to her music other than like obviously like the super popular ones that play like on the radio and like just everyone knows. But other than that, I never listened to any of her music. But this album was so good. I feel like I couldn't escape it just because of TikTok and like the whole like Jake Gyllenhaal thing. I was like, okay, you guys are some detectives, like analyzing the music video, like the scarf situation. So I was like, I'm gonna give the album a listen, and I did, and it was so good. And I'm also just a huge Phoebe Bridgers fan, and so when I like heard that she was on the album, I was like, all right, I gotta listen to it right now. So I did, and of course, Nothing New had to be my favorite song on the album because Phoebe's on it, and it's just a good song, and I literally listened to that song every single day. I can't go a day without listening to it. It's so good, and I'm 17 right now, and it makes me scared to be any other age, and I'm scared to be in my 20s now because of this song. So I hope that they're lying, and I hope that I will be fine at 22. The other song on here that I really liked was All Too Well, which that song's 10 minutes long. I'm normally not a huge fan of like long songs, but this is a song that I can sit through for 10 minutes and actually enjoy it. So Taylor killed it on this album. And those were my top 10 albums of the year, but I do have some honorable mentions, and that's You See For Yourself by IDK. That album was really good and had so many good features on it. Yeah, the only reason it didn't make a top 10 for me was because I feel like I listened to the album a lot when it first came out, but like over like the past few months, I haven't really listened to it a lot. So I'm like, didn't stand out that much to me. So that's why I put it in honorable mentions, because it is a really good album. I just don't listen to it a lot for it to be my favorite, if that makes sense. The next album that's good but didn't make the list is The Off Season by J. Cole. When that album first came out, again, I loved it so much. I listened to it for a really long time, just over and over again. But once again, like You See For Yourself, I kind of just stopped listening to it, and I feel like there was just better hip-hop albums that came out this year that could take its place. So it's still really good and still deserved to be in this video. The next one was an album that I literally just like found out about, and I've only listened to it maybe like 2 times. Is 2.5 by Amine. I haven't listened to it enough to like have like a full opinion on it, but from the 2 times that I listened to it, I do really enjoy this album, and I think that I needed to share that in the video. Amine was never really someone that I listened to all the time, except like Caroline, but he's actually really good. I think I'm going to start listening to him a lot more. But yeah, those were my top 10 albums of 2021 and my honorable mentions. I might do my top 50 songs of 2021. We will see, but I hope you guys enjoy the video. I know it's a short one. I didn't feel like there wasn't a lot for me to say, but I still wanted to share my thoughts on my favorite albums of the year. And this is just my opinion. You can have your own. You might disagree with mine. You might agree. I don't know. But comment down below what your favorite album of 2021 was, or what was your least favorite album of 2021. I would like to know. So just tell me in the comments below. All of my social medias and Apple Music, Spotify, everything will be linked down below. And I also have a Discord server if you want to join that. We talk about music, fashion, or just life, whatever. And I would love for you to join. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys whenever I post.
So